Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jess and today I will be doing a very special reading that I am very excited and also a tiny bit nervous about because I am doing my first collaboration with the amazing Lexi the Leo. So on my side of the collaboration I'll be looking into how you have helped save yourself, and on Lexi's side she'll be looking into how you have helped save others. So thank you so much, Lexi, for agreeing to collaborate with me. I can't wait to see how the readings turn out. So there are 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Group 1 with the opalite, Group 2 with the pink dolomite, Group 3 with the purple and secretly broken and glued fluorite, and Group 4 with the stoned wood. So if you need a moment to find out which group you feel drawn to, which can sometimes be more than one, you can pause the video or wait for the meditation moment. The timestamps are in the description box down below, as well as the decks used in this reading, and of course the link to Lexi's reading. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in your reading. Hi Group 1, welcome to your reading. So we will be looking into how have you helped save yourself. So let's get started. How has Group 1 helped save themselves? Nine of Swords. No. Okay. The Lovers. So I feel like you definitely helped get yourself out of situations that really made you feel anxious and really too focused, too much. I'm struggling to come to the words. I feel like you may have had like a period of your life that or that has been very specific when it comes to like certain relationships and people around you, and I feel like there may be a specific topic here about you saving yourself in an environment that has not been very stimulating or really pulling you to the right direction, if that makes any sense. Two cards, Three of Swords together with the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so we're still at the beginning. I'm gonna be a little more patient with myself. which may also be something that you may have felt to forced in a certain position that you couldn't really help or save yourself, which is I feel like you were in a situation, because I'm trying to explain this, you were in a situation that has been very keeping you really very intensely. Are you kidding me? I cannot remember the word. Like, it makes you feel like you have to be on guard every single time. Like you cannot even chill. Like you cannot even. Okay. Like you can't even kind of. You felt as if you really couldn't save yourself, or as if you didn't really know how to save yourself. Let's get some more. How has group ones helped save themselves? 10 of Wands. She's okay. And a Hermit in reverse. Okay. So first I want to mention that whatever you have been through has been horrific, has been anxious, has been traumatic, has been very toxic, and something that you know, you have been like almost made to believe that whatever environment, whatever people, family, whoever you were around, you were made to believe that you were safe. So you couldn't really at first understand that you were actually not really feeling safe in the first place. So I feel like the way that you have saved yourself, or helped yourself save yourself, is by first off recognizing what safety is and what is not, and what happiness is and what is not, and where your comfort zone is and where the trying to get to the word, you know, where the edge is, where the boundaries are. So now let's see a little bit more about how you have saved yourself. How has group one helped save yourselves? Shelter. I like that this card is coming out. And I also like with the Hermit in reverse, because the first sign, the first thing that's coming through is that how you have helped yourself, especially has to do with you asking for help and you being so brave to actually step out and let yourself know that what you are feeling is not comfort. You feel pressure, you feel anxious, you feel as if you are on guard, you feel as if the people or partner that you were with was not really your home. You felt like, I'm hearing a specific part of a song in my head. It's a song, Can I Call You Back by Shy Martin. And she was saying something about, or whoever this person is was saying something about, in a room full of people I call my friends, I want to call my friends. I kind of feel like that is saying something about how these people were never your friends. How these people made you believe that you know, kind of tricked you into thinking that they were your friends and that they were really out, like really wanted the best for you. But I mean, obviously not, because how were you feeling with them? And, you know, even if they're not doing it on purpose, and I'm not saying they were or were not, but you deserve much better than a place where you feel like you are not appreciated, a place, people where you feel like you are always on edge, always walking on eggshells, always feeling like you are a burden, always feeling like you need to hide yourself. I feel like the Hermit is in reverse because in in this scenario, I feel like this has to do with, instead of hiding yourself away and finding the answers within, could be that you have done that, and after that you came out and did exactly that, what your intuition was telling you, did exactly that, what you felt was the right option for you. And I specifically feel like this was when you were like a teenager, but that doesn't have to be for every single person. It can be like a mindset where you have not really grown into your best self yet. I'm not saying you are not your best self. I'm just trying to not over explain. I'm trying, it's more like, it could be that a lifetime of doing the same thing over and over again takes a lot of courage to break that cycle, and to tell yourself that what you have been believing all that time was actually not true. That's quite something to really, you know, let it sink in. I feel like you helped save yourself out of situations, or more specifically, a situation that felt more like a prison, like a mental prison. Like you couldn't really be yourself, you couldn't be happy, you could not share real moments with other people, thinking that they were your friends, but actually they were not. So maybe you feel like you shared information with them, felt at the time as if you were safe. You may regret it a lot of have regretted a lot of times how you could have put yourself in that situation. But I need to remind you that the way that you have helped save yourself, and how you stood up for yourself, even if it was not very verbal, it still counts for something that you did for yourself. And you, your body, your soul is really thankful and very proud of you for sticking up for yourself, even if it's something that other people may not see, or even if it's not like you literally standing in a spotlight. It still takes a lot of courage to help yourself, and to bring yourself to that point where you are able to trust yourself more than the other people around you. Not saying that you should not trust others, but to be able to trust your own thoughts and feelings, and know that what you are feeling is not something that you should hide away. Okay, so how else we have choice? Yeah, exactly. I feel like you really made a decision for yourself to step away from people, situations, and circumstances that have not been good for your health, have been really pulling you down in the wrong direction. And I feel like you were always the kind of person who knew intuitively, like, I don't know, something is just not right here. Like, we know that there are people who will really, you know, rather adapt themselves to social standards, or what their friends or whatever would say, or colleagues or bosses or parents, family, whatever. But there are not that many people, especially who I know, that actually stick up for their own rights and really kind of rebel against that. What's the word? Rebel against the expectations from other people. I feel like you really pulled yourself out of that, knowing that what is being, like, it's almost like you get in a room and you see people like laughing and sharing stories, like for me that will be like a birthday party or something, like something that I would I remember walking into a room and feeling really uncomfortable there, like, oh my god, first off, I don't know anyone, and second off, the energy just feels kind of off. But then some people, some people, I think all people do this at some time in their life, whether it's for long or just once, that they just kind of adjust to what is happening around them. And I feel like you may have done that for a long time, but when it comes to how you have helped save yourself, is through really trusting yourself. I really have to say that you did a really great job of trusting yourself and trusting your intuition, and knowing that what you have in front of you is just not your cup of tea. There are people who enjoy being fake and who enjoy being like that. Sorry for the noise in the background. But there are some people who don't, who rather be with people who are honest, straightforward, and not really lie to them. I mean, I don't think that you would have been sad or pushed in a certain direction if you felt like you could trust the people around you. If you really have people around you that really had a good influence, were honest, were not. I feel like you're the kind of person, like, even though you're sensitive, you need honesty. Like, even if you're not gonna like it, you need it. And I feel like people, like, you may sometimes not like sugarcoating or at all anymore, because it's like, yeah, I don't have a good experience with sugarcoating, something like that, because people around you used to do that to make you feel better, and for a second it did, but then you kind of thought for yourself and you were like, that felt so not right, that felt so strange or fake. I don't know, like, you felt like something was wrong about what this person said, and not because it was not the truth, but what they were saying was not their truth. They were not expressing it as if they really believed it. They were not actually sharing what they thought. You would rather have people being honest than you will, because then you will also have grown up a little bit more confident in just speaking your mind openly. I have a lot to say, but I'm not even done yet. Okay, so how have you helped save yourself? How is this one? Oh. Okay, we have Sparkle, Sparkle Bitch. Excuse me, the deck chose to give me this card. I cannot, undo the past. So let me just get the guidebook for this, because I love this deck and it has deep meanings, but I did not really use this one a lot. I need to look it up, sorry. Every being is at their core sparkling and luminous. Some call it soul. Some call it the bit of God dwelling in each of us. Others just call it the sparkle, sparkle bitch. To be unapologetically sparkly in a dull world is an act of resistance and an act of hope too. I love this card because this is literally just confirming everything that I've been just saying, because I feel like you are the kind of person who is looking for reality. And I'm not saying reality as if, like, you know, expectation of what other people have of how the world should be. Excuse me. But more the reality that you can create for yourself by being honest and truthful, and not like making yourself seem like a different person, making yourself look like you are not worth it, like being every single part of you, because that part of you is just beautiful and deserves to be expressed and needs to be expressed, because it will not go right if things are suppressed. Although sometimes it may help to kind of suppress it when it's, you know, not really the best situation. Anyway, I feel like you have, I mean, we can all still be kind of in the process of it. Like, I remember looking at a reading and being like, yeah, I can kind of recognize some parts, but it's not that, like, broad as it's being explained yet. Like, I'm doing fine, but I'm not that confident yet about these kind of abilities that I have. And that may also be, you know, your ego, like, kind of putting you down, but it could also be a realistic aspect of you knowing that you still have some work to do, and that's there's no shame in that. Because if you are feeling like there are things that you have not really put out yet, or you are not exactly being literally you are at least being a part of that. You are being more than you are being more of yourself than you were like a few months back, or like a year ago, or like 5 years ago. I don't know. You know that better than I do, I guess. It's your life. Okay. How has group 1 helped save themselves? Let's try it again. Too many. The song Speechless by Naomi Scott could be significant. It could be something that you may want to practice. And I'm not saying you need to practice it like singing along with it as if, you know, and practice singing. That's not what I mean. But what I'm trying to say is practice like remembering the lyrics in your head, or kind of singing it for yourself, or kind of saying the lyrics for yourself when you are alone, when like whispering it for yourself, or just kind of thinking of that sentence. Because I feel like the more you try to do that, you may feel more confident with saying these words that she is saying, to be able to say, I am not going to be left speechless, even if you're trying to put me down, even if you're trying to wear me out, and if you're trying to make me feel ashamed of myself. I'm still going to rise above and say, no, what you're saying is not the truth. You may feel like that is the truth to this person, or whatever, whoever, but it is not your truth. So if you are being yourself, let that be yourself. Don't let other people say that is not you, or don't let other people say that you should not be like that, because you are expressing your biggest truth, your self-expression. I feel like you have helped save yourself when it comes to your mental health, and your experience with love and with self-love, and the experience of knowing that what you do for the world is beautiful, and that you can trust that what you put out there is going to be recognized, is going to be seen by other people and loved by other people. And even the person, not just what you put out there, but who you put out there yourself, the person that you are, without needing to hide, edit things out like I sometimes do. To be able to be unapologetically you, and just let yourself sparkle, even if other people see that as a threat, or something that they just do not see within themselves. Because usually what people say about you is more their own reflection. They, you know, a few days ago I saved a quote that we project our fears onto other people constantly. We are who we think the world is. Confusion, I did not mention it. Anyway, the card says confusion. Okay. So as I said before, I feel like you have been in an environment that has been giving you quite a hard time to find out who you are, and how beautiful you are, and to know that you do not need to be Cinderella. I mean, you can be Cinderella, especially if that literally is your name, but that's not my point. But you don't need to wait for that prince, or that environment, or that person, or that whatever situation to save you. You can save yourself. You know that you are able to, and you have saved yourself all this time with letting yourself know the truth, and being able to adapt to the truth of who you are, instead of adapting to the truth of other people. Oh, okay. How has group 1, too many helps save themselves? feel like people, for some reason, I feel called to say that people do not expect your kind of, the way that you talk, because it could be that, let's just say, those are like physical expectations. So let's just say someone, or like a girl is dressed in tomboy clothes, and other people may think that this person is like completely rude and goes against the law or whatever. Not saying that this is a stereotype, I'm just saying like people immediately put their expectation onto other people based on what they can see for themselves. So, and then this person is really sweet and is not really into football, but really likes spending time with their girlfriends or something like that. And other people are like, wait, what? I did not expect that. I feel like there's a part of here, there's like a part here where confusion is at play about what they can expect from you right now, because I feel like you have many parts of yourself that you're able to show. Some people know you as this, some people know you as that. And I feel like that has kind of brought people some respect to you, to know like they cannot just put someone's, like their own expectations or projections onto you. Or in another way of saying it, I feel like people are more able to just take you seriously with however you are dressed, however you talk, however you speak, because there are more sides of you. And I'm not saying like necessarily like you have a different personality within you. I'm just saying, because we're not gonna go that road. I'm not, you know, that's a different topic for a different person. Just a second, I kind of need to refocus my attention back to what I was trying to say. You have different shades of who you are. So let's just say your favorite color is yellow. Then you have a little bit of a lighter yellow. Then you have a little bit of a more mustard kind of yellow. You know what I mean? Like there are different parts of different sides of you, which is natural. We all have that. But I feel like you are more able to show that to other people. And I feel like what I'm saying right now about how you are showing up, it's almost like this is the well, I don't want to say consequence because that sounds so negative, but it's kind of the thing that you have manifested for yourself, that if you are able to speak up and do that more and more, then you will be able to live more in a confident way and be more of the person that you were first afraid of becoming. Okay, so how has group 1 helped save themselves? Oh, I literally did not notice that this card has like 2 faces with the confusion, and I was picking up on like, you know, multiple sides of you, and so it's, I don't know, it kind of makes sense to me, even though I was not picking up on that. Okay, so how has group 1 helped save themselves? I feel like you still may have like the tendencies to kind of not, or not tendencies, to, the feeling of not really knowing which side of yourself you are at. Like, it's almost like you don't know how, who to decide to be at that day. You may still kind of have, you know, as I said before, like you don't need to be completely confident and all that stuff, but I feel like you have saved yourself from complete separation from your own personality. You have helped yourself really see that you're really allowed and you were meant to express your unique being without needing to hide other parts of you, without hiding the anger that you may sometimes have, or the love that you share with others, without needing to be only one of those. And we have the teacher with structure, guidance, and legacy. I really feel like all these things, how you have saved yourself, I feel like you're able to really tell stories and to really guide other people with finding their true nature by being exactly who you can be, and also guiding them and telling others, or even yourself. You're even able to help yourself realize even more about yourself by diving into these things as well. How does group 1 help save themselves? I feel that you manifested yourself learning from your own advice by talking with other people. I feel like you're someone who is very intuitive and is able to really pick up on other people's emotions and energies and how they're actually feeling, hence why you did not believe those other people in the first place, because they were obviously lying and hiding their own self and their own opinion. And even if it was meant to not hurt your feelings, like I feel like you were a little disappointed in these people because or in your friends, because they kind of first seemed like they were, you know, just kind of being themselves, but what they were actually doing was kind of still figuring out who they were, and in the meantime kind of pushing their own limitations onto other people. You have helped save yourself by really observing other people, by really, like, I feel like even if this even if you felt like you were on guard all the time, I feel like there was one positive thing about it, like just one positive thing, that you were still able to analyze, to really observe, as if you felt like you needed to pay attention to what was happening, even if you didn't want to, even if it was like none of your business. I feel like you have learned from other people's behaviors and other people's relationships, even if they were, whether they were only in your head, whether they were some people you saw walking on the street, whether those are documentaries, or whether they were movies or series or something. Like, I feel like you got some sort of feeling of something making sense for you. It felt like that is so much more natural, it's so much more inviting than the things that are happening at home, for example, or how my parents, for example, like express their love toward each other is maybe completely different, and you do not really hang on to, or do not really believe, or you not really vibe with how the people around you express themselves. We have, I release what doesn't serve me. So this is pretty straightforward, as it's saying that the way how you have helped save yourself is through learning that things are not always meant for you, and that it does not give you the best, that it does not provide you with the best thing that you can, with what you really deserve, and that is honesty, that is relationships that really really understand, help you, and really want to grow, instead of putting everything out on you as if you were like a trash can or something. I'm like seeing like a scene where like someone is trying to like throw like a crumbled paper across the room into like yeah, a trash can, like an open trash can, as if they're like almost practicing on throwing it right into the basket, you know, as if someone is trying to teach themselves to play what's that game again? No, that's not it. I'm so sorry. try to teach, as if someone is trying to teach themselves how to play basketball, right? But with your trash can and a little piece of, like, a scrambled piece of paper. I don't know, that's kind of how it felt to you, as if they were just kind of throwing things there just to kind of either poke fun at you or to kind of test how far you can go. That's not cool. That's not really, that's really not what you deserve. Like, you deserve people who are respectful towards you and really respect your boundaries and not kind of disrespect and make fun of you. It's kind of how it feels. So you may have spoken up to these people. You may have withdrawn from their from communicating with them. You may have somehow, whether it's like very obvious or not, you may have given the answer without really giving the answer. I don't know why or what I'm trying to say, but maybe someone is understanding what I'm trying to say. I am knowledge, exactly. And next to the teacher, also with books and all that kind of stuff. Well, books and stuff anyway. I really feel like this is talking about how have you really saved yourself and helped yourself during these times is by really preserving your energy for the right people and understanding that what you were feeling was not something that was because of yourself. Like, you did not dramatize your feelings. You did not scare others. You really just made your point. You showed up for yourself in the best way possible, and you really need to know that we are all so proud of you for really taking yourself and your life and your soul and everything about you more seriously, and knowing that you deserve better than whatever trash was being given to you. So what are some last messages that group 1 needs to hear? Some oracle cards advice. Oh my, that's too many. Or if there's anything else that you need to know about what how you have saved yourself, or any advice for what you can do from now on to save yourself even more, or to help yourself even more. So we have the card, set a meeting with yourself and keep it. Make it a priority. Treat that meeting like you would any other. Set aside 10 minutes to write down 5 values that are important to you. Keep the list in your pocket as you go about your day. This is an inspiration card, so I feel like this is a message about what you could do for yourself even more to make yourself even more confident about who you are and about what you deserve. To write down what you are not just grateful for, but and those can also be small things, because I get that statement can sometimes be a little bit annoying, but to really look at what you deserve. Even if you don't have it yet, you know that you deserve it. Let's see. What are some last messages group 1 needs to hear? Okay, here we go. And we have regret. This image is very beautiful. Anyway, behold the past without regret for what you could have done. Claim the present without waver for all that's yet to come. Forget fear and follow your heart to bliss. So I feel like this is something that you may have already chosen to do. You may have started to be more open to letting go of the past, and even if it's not the best what would have happened, but to know that you have done the best that you could have done for yourself, and that you can only do better from now on, and that you really don't need to worry about you making mistakes about relationships, because you will know intuitively, like, this is going to be the right one. There was something else. This is also encouraging you to really follow what makes you feel happy and not always hold on to fear, and really follow what gives you the feeling of excitement, of happiness, without needing to think too much about how you will appear for other people, for the ones who don't know that yet. Okay, so can I have a last message for group 1? What is the last message for group 1? Let's see here. And we have write down your goals, dream big. This is very interesting how we have write down. So 5 values, we have goals, so something that you know you just are deserving of. I feel like that could be a sign that you may, or something that you are already doing, but that these things are going to come true, or going to be set in motion with the way that things are going right now, and how you have helped and saved yourself. So group 1, that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonated or was helpful in some way. I wish you an amazing day or night. Please consider watching Lexi's reading, and I hope you'll be back in the future. Hi group 2, welcome to your reading. So we will be looking into how have you helped save yourself. So let's get started with the tarot. How has group 2 helped save themselves? Okay, how has group 2 helped? Okay, the Magician, how has group 2 helped save themselves? Too many. How has group 2 helped save themselves? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So many. How has group 2 helped save themselves? Four of Wands. Okay. I'm getting like a very wholesome vibe from this pile. Oh, I don't actually say pile at all. I usually say group. So I don't know if that's relevant, but if it is, there you go. So what I feel is that I'm hearing the song Human by Christina Perry right now because I'm wearing headphones, and I saw the Magician and I saw the Four of Wands, and I feel like, first off, there's a lot of credit to go to your soul for choosing such a beautiful beautiful life for you, such a beautiful beginning to starting your life. And if that is not the case, then I feel like this has to do with you being a very beautiful person inside and out, looking for something that will stabilize, and something that will be stable in your life, something that you're very serious in, and wanting to have people around who are the kindest with you, and who really are just as gentle as you are. I feel that you have helped save yourself by choosing the right people for you, by knowing right from the get-go what has been right for you. see what else. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. I feel like you have grown up in an environment that has been very welcoming to letting yourself play and letting yourself be involved with the things that your mind can create. And I feel like you have always been invited to be very open toward your imagination and toward the things that you can have in life. And I feel like you have never really been that kind of person to be really very pessimistic. I feel like you are very optimistic. Like if someone would ask you like if the glass is half full or half empty, you would always say half full. But there's also this thing that I feel like you are able to see that things still have a chance, even if they look very down, even if they look like they are not really gonna go very far. I feel like you have a naturally optimistic mind to look for the bright side in the things, even if, like, you know, the rainbow after the storm or after the rain, I don't know, to look for things that can brighten your day. I feel like you've always been, like, I keep wanting to say always, but I want to say also, I've been the kind of person to really advocate for the ones to know, like, you know, So I feel like the way how you have helped save yourself is for being really very patient and very thankful and grateful and very proud of who you are and for the people and the experiences that you've had. No matter if someone has a less good experience, let's just say that, someone who has been through a little bit of a traumatic experience, for example, you still are the kind of person to really see how you can help yourself, how you can look for help. I feel like you're someone who's very open-hearted toward other people and connections, and you are not really one to shy away from help if you're given one. That's why you're so grateful, because you know that you're able to have it and you are not cocky about it or something. Like, you're not someone who is going to just take it and leave the person hanging, you know? And I feel like not just have you really helped others, and again, I highly recommend looking at Lexi's video because how has you helped save themselves? Okay, I feel like you're also the kind of person who's able to really understand themselves selves better after even understanding other people. So you're the one kind of one who is curious. You're the one who wants to know about other people. You're the one who wants to understand. So it's interesting because this reading has to be about, you know, how you have saved yourself. Page of Pentacles, Nine of Swords in reverse. And we have the Fool. Okay. So very optimistic and beautiful energy. So let's look more into it with some oracle cards. How has Group 2 helped save themselves? I really see you as a kind of person like Judy Hopps from, I don't know the movie's name, but it's, and she wants to be a police officer. And even though people have bullied and kind of made her feel less, she still went after her dream. I feel like the way you have saved yourself is by really looking at the bright side of life, by really looking at what you can still achieve and not by diminishing your own worth and your own beauty and your own talents and desires for other people. I feel like not just is this saying how beautiful and brave and talented you are, but this is also saying that you have been an inspiration to other people nonstop, and that you are even doing it without really noticing or even wanting to. Like, you just do it. Okay. Heart space. I don't really, you know, I feel like you have helped save yourself by just literally looking at the positive things about life and remembering the things that have been beautiful and not looking back too much on what has not been the most expansive or the most beautiful or joyful about life. I feel like you are able to still look at tomorrow and see it like there's always a chance and there's always a choice for something different. How has to help save themselves? I feel like you were a friend for yourself when you didn't really have any other person to depend on, or to really, if you didn't feel like there, or when you felt like there was no one who could really listen to you or understood you in the way you were feeling. I feel like the way you have helped yourself is to really create a space where you have felt safe. I feel like you have created, even if it's something that you did not do on purpose, I feel like you saved yourself by really making sure that you do not drown in the experience, in the feeling of the experience, and by making sure that you can tell yourself that you are safe because you have yourself. I feel like the biggest way how you have helped save yourself and how you have really stood up for yourself is by letting yourself help yourself, by letting yourself be open to receive help. And I don't mean necessarily from other people. I feel like you really let yourself help yourself by not looking for short solutions, but by really understanding that you do not need to make efforts towards something that never felt right for you. That's something like you felt like immediately, like right at the beginning, like you feel when something is off or not. You feel like, no, I'm not gonna get into that because that's just not my vibe. Like you have been taught, either you have taught yourself or you have been taught that you do not need to look for lower if you can have something that is just as amazing as you are. And you may have really put yourself out there and opened yourself up for vulnerability to be able to experience the joy of life. I feel like you did not really like keep yourself hidden away. I feel like you really make yourself be known to the world and or not necessarily the entire world, but you know, to people and relationships around you that you knew would benefit you as well as the other person. You did not try to look for something to impress other people. Like you are, you know, I think you are already happy with yourself. Not that everyone is continuously happy, but I feel like you have already felt belonging within yourself. And through that, you have helped yourself feel safe, connected, and grounded, and known that you were deserving. I don't know how you did it. Please teach other people so they can learn that too. How has group 2 helped save themselves? Okay. I also feel that for either many of you or all of you, you have really been focusing more on like a specific goal instead of on people and relationships. That even if you put yourself out there, I feel like you were very focused on things that you could achieve with the amazingness with your talents and passion and desires. I feel like you have followed your heart right from the get-go, and that's how you have really achieved more compassion for yourself. And I feel like you will do things that other people will be afraid to do. You will put yourself in the spotlight. You will tell yourself the truth about a matter, even if it wouldn't feel good at a moment. You still feel like, well, I'm still here, and there's still beauty to experience, and there's still things to change, and you can still make your reality, make your dream a reality. I feel like that has been like either passed on to you from the people that you grew up with, to always focus on the things that you love and really go for that and ignore people who are trying to bring you down. Not everyone will have like that experience with, you know, parents or caretakers, but I feel like you have definitely been the kind of person who allowed themselves to really feel and experience the joy of the moment, instead of limit yourself to other people's to social standards. How is group 2 helped save themselves? Trust the process. This really reminds me again of the Page of Pentacles, of really focusing on the things, like really feeling grounded and even within, I feel, even with yourself and the things that you can achieve and the things that you desire and want to achieve in your life. How has group 2 helped save themselves? Kindness and injustice. Okay. I feel like the thing that really brought you, that really made you feel safe and eventually also gave you a safe space environment is for you to, you know, you managed to accomplish that because I feel like you're able to see when things are not right, and you're able to see when things are right, like this feels right or this feels wrong. You listen more to yourself than to others. That's how you have saved yourself. It's almost like you've proven yourself and other people that it is possible to maintain or to keep yourself grounded in moments when things are not really the best. But for many of you, I do feel like you have had an environment around you that really taught you that, you know, that love is actually unconditional, and that you don't need to really put up with other people's standards of how you should be or preferences. How has group 2 helped save themselves? I want one card. And just because you are a positive person doesn't mean that you have not had your downs, you know? I still feel like you're very able to understand other people and their feelings. And I feel like because you have been really encouraging yourself to let those feelings be and know that those are part of you, and you cannot, and you don't need to resist or resist them in any way. I feel like you've grown more fond of who you are in a complete way. In time, you really managed to have a lot more appreciation and compassion for other people, including yourself. I feel like the way that you kept yourself thinking positively and not letting your fears get the best of you by being brave, by putting things out there that you will be afraid of. I feel like the way that you showed yourself compassion is the way how you are right now able to show other people compassion. This is how you really helped and upped yourself, like, to be the best version that you can be, and to not, like, immediately be angry or disappointed in yourself when something does not go the way you want. How has group 2 helped save themselves? And we have the Companion. Partnership, support, reliability. I have to say, when I was shuffling the other deck, I thought I saw the word, the title Companion too, but it did not come out. I feel like it isn't here, but I feel the way that you are able to connect with other people and connect with yourself. I feel like you see other people and you see a part of yourself. I feel that's why you are so grateful and kind to other people, because you know that they are actually just like you. I feel like the main meaning behind this reading is that you have always led yourself with love, and that's how you know how to handle yourself, how to really control the emotions that the more negative emotions, and how to be very appreciative of everything that your body is doing for you, everything that your mind is doing for you, and how you are still able to live. I feel there's so much thankfulness coming from your side. It's unbelievable. We have, I am curious. You lead yourself by what can be. You lead yourself by, and love yourself by the way that you can be for yourself, for other people, the way that you are able to see the world and see and want to see more. Even in the times that things were not going well, I feel you were still able to tell yourself that if you'd get out of bed, even if you were not in the mood for it, you will see the sunrise. If you would look in the mirror, then you will see your very, very beautiful face. That if you will go outside, that you will feel the breeze of the wind. I feel like there are some very simple things that are just heaven for you. How has group 2 helped save themselves? An attitude of really being like, you are expansion, you are love, you are beauty. I feel like you're able to see yourself, like the way that you have taught yourself to really be kind toward yourself and really be positive about who you are, even if you are not, even if you don't understand it. I feel like that has made you so open for different experiences without needing to be very afraid. And even if you were afraid, you were able to tell yourself that you are your best friend, and that even if no one else understands you, you are still able to understand yourself. You are still able to be there for you. Even if things got a little bit hectic. I also don't really feel like you're the kind of person to think too much about what is happening around you. You just kind of go with the flow. That kind of explains why it's not that you see the world as much easier than other people would. And it says, I am fearless. Aries is coming through here. For some reason I'm being reminded of Scorpio. Anyway, I am fearless. Mars, number 33, number 10. I did not really mention the names, the numbers. Yeah, it also kind of resonates with Aries here, and you kind of go for it and don't really think too much about what will happen later or what has happened before. That's why, how have you helped yourself? By staying open, by staying honest, and being the person that you were excited to be when you were a child. I feel like you were always excited, like, I can't wait till I grow up so I am able to look in the mirror and see how much of a beautiful person I am. Even if you don't really remember really thinking or saying that, but I feel like there was a part of you that was very excited because there was something in the future that you were going to be very happy and proud of with yourself. So now let's get some last messages. Did I get every single card? Yes, I did. For group 2. Okay, we have a reflection card. Your past does not define who you are today. And I feel like this is trying to, this is talking about what you actually are believing, what you actually believe with your whole heart. Like, even if something's happened, it's the past. It is not there anymore. You are safe and sound. You are happy and you are very content with the person who you are. There's really a lot of self-love here. I really adore this. Close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths. With each inhale, breathe in calm and peace. With each breath, let go of what came before. You are here now. Your path is in front of you. Can I have last message for group 2, please? Oh, no, fall on the floor. Okay, fall on the floor. Okay. Reconnection. Okay, sorry about that imagery. The spirit of the ocean calls you, offering healing and much needed peace. Connect with water and its endless flow of magic. a change of scenery, a change of pace, and all will fall into place. Yeah, that's also, I wanted to mention, there are some cards that may be hints or advice for something that you could do for yourself in the future, but I feel like it's only saying, like, keep going the way you are going and you will receive even more than you already have. What are some last messages Group 2 needs to hear? I feel like you want to be a kind of person who takes care of somebody or takes care of other people. I feel like you're very able to really take other people's minds of the things that they're dealing with. I feel like you know exactly how it feels, but you're still able to see in a different light and say, well, we always have a choice. Slow down and rest. You need it. So I feel like even if there are things you want to accomplish, the way you can help yourself even more is by recognizing that you still deserve a little bit of peace, and you still deserve to be a little, like, take your time and be kind of with yourself, not necessarily because this is a punishment, but more because you need it to feel connected with yourself even more. And some other things that you may know, but I don't. For some reason, I needed to say that. So Group 2, that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonated or was helpful and not too chaotic in some way. I wish you an amazing day or night. Please consider watching Lexi's reading, and I hope you'll be back in the future. Hi Group 3, welcome to your reading. So we will be looking into how have you helped save yourself. So let's get started with some tarot, and then we'll also get some oracle cards. How has Group 3 helped save themselves? First off, I want to mention that you are the kind of person who really stands up to people who are obviously doing something wrong. I was seeing a scene that you, like, a figure will be like standing up for other people or to the bullies. I don't know if that is something that you used to do when you were younger. That I don't know what position you were in, but you were able to defend other people. I don't know when it comes to yourself, but you were really able to help other people as well. So again, I highly suggest looking at Lexi's reading, which is about how you have helped others, how you have helped others, something like that. Okay. Okay, so how has Group 3 helped save themselves? Feel a lot of fierceness from you, like not necessarily aggression pure, because that's what I wanted to say first, but you really have that power in you to really stand up for something you do not at all believe in, and my fingers are sticky. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, which does not surprise me, and with the Emperor. So again, this energy coming through of you being very straightforward, very honest, and you know how to lead a group of people. You know how to stand up for yourself. You know how to stand up for other people, and you know, it's almost as if you have a pure motivation or some kind of motto, something that you just really connect to, something that really inspires you to be the best version that you can be of yourself, like right from the get-go. I don't know how young or I don't know how young you were when this started, when you have started to really be that kind of person, because obviously we can also grow into becoming someone like that. But I feel like you have the power, you have an energy of being feared by the ones who want to be feared, if that makes any sense. People who want to be seen as an enemy, people who want to be almost as if I'm saying it from not, I don't know if I'm, you know, it's almost as if I'm saying it from your perspective, as if you're saying, like, it's almost like they're asking for it. They're asking to be, like, to be confronted. They're asking to be seen in that way, to be confronted with their own, like, to have them, like, have a taste of their own medicine. I'm not necessarily saying that you're off to, you know, hurt other people, but it's almost as if you look at those people and you're like, it's not that you want to hurt them, but it's what you want to do for them to even recognize themselves in some way. You call up facts about other people, and you just know it by taking one look at them, and you're like, oh my god, you're such a, not stereotypical kind of way, but you can immediately see their insecurities written on other people's faces. I know I've been talking about this for a few minutes now, how you even, I feel like you are the kind of person, because you know how to stand up and confront yourself, you also know how to stand up for other people. And it's not necessarily because you want to help the ones who are being bullied. I feel like there's also the desire to help the ones who are bullying, and do that in the way that they need it. And I'm not saying like revenge, things like that. I'm saying like the way that you look at them is like, you don't even are angry at them. It's more like, well, you can't be, but how I feel is like you look at them and you're like, it's almost like you need to confront an ego and not really the self. Like you pull up truth. You're not necessarily going to like say this person is a bad person, but you're gonna like call up like why they may be doing these kind of things or something like that. Calling some truthful facts about them, and really you do not have it out to get them. I'm getting ESTP, ESFP energy for the ones who know what I'm talking about, or for the ones who don't know, this is MBTI typology. And because I'm seeing the Emperor, and also the Queen of Wands, this kind of gives me the same kind of feeling. Like there is facts and there's also feelings involved. Like you sincerely want to help other people. We're going to get to how you have helped save yourself. Because I feel like you really treat other people the way that you want to be treated as well. And I think it shows in a way, like, because you do not, if you would not confront yourself, then you would also not confront those bullies, those people who are saying mean things, who are acting in a way that is not in their best interest, for lack of better words. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles together with the Three of Swords. So I feel the way that you help save yourself is first off through other people, and it's not necessarily all about that, but I feel like you are able to connect with other people more than you had anticipated, or more than you would have thought. Like maybe you thought that you only disliked yourself, or only disliked other people, or the kind of people who are mean, you know. But I feel like you feel pain towards both topics. You feel pain to know that, or how else should I say it? If you would not, I don't know if I said this before or not, but if you would not confront yourself, then you would not do that with other people, and vice versa. If you would not do that with other people, then you also won't do that with yourself. I feel like not just are other people a way of almost talking to a mirror when it comes to you. I mean, you would know best, right? Because anyway, so much. Okay. Eight of Pentacles, Three of Swords. So with this, I feel like there have been many opportunities for you to really see other situations evolve, and I feel like you have been really, like, you have witnessed a lot of moments, a lot of scenarios, a lot of times where you have seen other people be in the same kind of situation. Like you have seen, like, I really see, like, toddler, like you seeing your parents, for example, or your caretakers, or people who, you know, you're surrounded with. You see those people, like, having an argument, and you see, like, that they are almost fighting, not with the other, but with themselves. Like, my lord, you are wise. I'm happy to have you here on my channel. Anyway, you really look at people and you see that they are mirroring each other all the freaking time. Like, there is no other way. And you have also looked at yourself the way that you looked at other people, and you feel that there's pain, but that there's also beauty. And that's why you can't hate or really dislike other people or even yourself, because in every person there's a part of you, and every time you look at yourself you see a different, not person, but you see something that you have seen in someone else the other day. I feel like you are able to kind of analyze your emotions and your experiences with other people, especially socially, and really look at them from a higher point of view. To not really, you really are very detached from, like, sticking to what you're feeling at that moment. Instead of doing that, you really want to go and put the truth out there for everybody to see, that there is both beauty and pain, and there is both hate and love towards yourself, towards one another. There's a complex kind of thing going on, and I see that you really have gotten to know yourself through other people, just as how you have gotten to know other people through yourself, because you know, which I am jealous of, you know that in every person is, you can see, you know, there's a, it's just like you see mirrors walking down the street every single time. Like, they have little feet and arms and stuff like that, and they're holding their phones because they have nothing else to do with their life. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I feel, this is, by the way, me doing some sensory stuff to kind of focus on what I'm trying to say. Anyway, like me shuffling the cards. I feel like there's a lot about you that you have already witnessed. I feel like you have gotten to know yourself, not because you have actually experienced it with yourself, but you have experienced it with other people. And why is this all necessary for me to say? Because I feel like this has a lot to do with how you are able to help yourself, because you are able to gain knowledge from perceiving situations, from looking at situations and experiences that which actually reminds me of myself a little bit, because I used to watch a lot of movies because I was bored AF anyway, and as a teenager and younger youngster and I got to know a lot of different kind of scenarios. Even when I was playing certain games as a kid or something like that, I was always able to kind of put myself in that position, and that's how I got to know a lot of very scary things. And I may even have, like, triggers for things that are actually not really related to me, but are really related to other things, because I found out a part of myself through something different or through someone else. It's almost like you're watching a documentary about a certain topic that you don't know anything about, and after watching for a little while, or after being involved with something, even if that's not really something you're really working towards or something, but you still get to know parts of yourself, of other people, and you put that in your own kind of information basket, if that makes any sense. And I feel like you did that, and through that you were able to really understand something even though you have never experienced it. So if someone is saying they're really happy and they're talking about a relationship, then you are still able to understand it because you see it in front of you like it's a movie and you're witnessing the characters getting closer. It's almost as if people are telling you a story or something like that. And I feel like over the years that you've done that, you have also really evolved your ability to intuitively know where it's coming from. You kind of shape, you make your own patterns in your mind about what something is about, and you're like, wait, that really looks or sounds familiar, like this. And then you put things like together, and then you can kind of solve the puzzle and come to the conclusion of what the problem is or what the situation is. Let's get some more cards. How has group 3 helped save themselves? Okay, I'll take this one. We have the Hermit. Like, maybe you're like me and you have watched more than you've really experienced, and through that you are able to know because you let that information come to you without the rush of, without really going through all that stress or all that rush or all the things, you know, to be able to distance yourself from situations and make space for things to be analyzed instead of being taken too seriously. I feel like you take really great care of yourself and are able to solve mysteries for yourself. I feel like you're able to help save yourself out of situations or in general by really making yourself understand and really letting yourself be able to know them, be able to like let yourself flow into guidance instead of judgment, instead of forcing yourself into something or having impulsive reactions. I feel like you're able to kind of catch yourself, or if not completely, not like be detached from it, and it's almost as if you're you are taking care of yourself the way that you will take care of someone else. If someone else will have a problem, then you will help them, you know, because you are either their friend or you just help them, or it's your job or anything like that. But you are also able to do the same thing what you do with others, also with yourself. So what would you do if you were to help someone else instead of yourself? If you were to think like that you had to solve this thing all on your own, you kind of put yourself in the position like, how will someone think if they were helping me? And then you are able to kind of not necessarily be someone different, but cope a lot more instead of stressing that things may not work well or that things will not go the way it was planned. Another way that I think that you have really helped and saved yourself is through, I wanted to say something but now I don't remember. So the Hermit, you take space to, you distance yourself from the outside world, from other people, from social experiences, anything like that. I mean, don't get too intense, but you're like, it's almost like telling your friends that you just want to go on a walk outside and just want to think, or just kind of want to relax or something, just be on your own for a little bit. That's kind of how it feels like you're not necessarily getting out of the picture, but you take a night out for yourself, you know, like you kind of take care of yourself by kind of letting yourself process the information and let yourself understand that you do not need to worry about things anymore or something anymore. or situations because they are being solved at that very moment, or they have already been solved. Or sometimes we, cannot change the situation, which you may have had some struggle with accepting that at first. But I feel like the more time you take for yourself to really think about and kind of let it sink in, the more it's easier to kind of just, to know that you are not in danger and you do not need to worry or something like that. Oh my gosh, okay. Too many. How has group 3 helped save themselves? Oh. And we have the Hierophant in reverse. Cards fell on the floor. Okay. So usually a Hierophant talks to me about like a life path, a kind of way of going to a certain direction that is meant for you, but also a way of believing or just sticking to an environment that really suits with you. But it also reminds me of the thing that I first thought with the Hierophant was that it really wants to involve you in a certain environment, as if you're kind of being forced to be social. That's kind of how I thought. And the High Priestess, which to me is like the more secretive version, urges you to really look inside for your information, to really look and listen to your intuition about what it is telling you. But now with the Hierophant being in reverse, I feel like this is kind of saying like there is still a part of you, like how have you saved yourself by kind of including and excluding yourself from the community to really look at what you want or what you feel, or to kind of stay grounded in the face of I kind of don't remember what I wanted to say, but I'll continue anyway. Keep yourself grounded while you are still in your environment. You want to keep yourself kind of detached from any expected outcomes or something like that. So control may be an issue, but I feel like you've kind of come to terms with that. It's okay to kind of follow someone else's advice for a change, but to not completely think of it as you need to stick to every single rule of it. You can go and choose your own direction. Like even if you get advice, you don't need to listen to every single thing that everyone is saying just because they are your friends or they are your family or anything else, or just because they know you better than or know you very well, or tell you that they know you better than anyone else or something like that. I don't know why I kept going on that topic, but anyway. So now let's get into some oracle cards. How has group 3 helped save themselves? Just to kind of create some space. Oh, I get it. I think I get it. Okay. I get a little bit itchy when things just don't really, sorry. This is my own little tendency. Anyway. I can't help it. How has group 3 helped save themselves? we have tapestry. How has the reads themselves? Resolution. Acceptance is the answer. And show me your original face, the face you had before your parents were born. Okay. I'm kind of letting everything sink in right now. So if I'm quiet, that's why I'm quiet. How has humiliation? So I feel like definitely your past has made you into the person that you were today. I feel like for some of you, you may have had some trouble with expressing your emotions clearly without really getting too upset. And I feel like either some of you have seen professional help for that. I'm not saying that anyone is, there's no shame in getting help for things that we just don't understand. But you could have had quite an aggressive kind of spirit, kind of like a very hot fire, that really, if you felt any kind of emotion, like, as I said, for some of you, it may be that you grew into this power of being able to kind of let things slowly sink in and kind of go with the flow. But for many of you, I do feel like it has been something that you had trouble with imagining for yourself, something that was not easy to just let yourself be well. It was not easy to heal like that. It was not easy to be your true self. I do feel like the tendency that you may have right now or in the present is that you still kind of tend to hide away from the outside crowd to just really let things sink in, because I feel like that you may feel pressure at some times to be always this amazing or this powerful or this fiery the way you are, to always have that energy, but that's not the case. I think that you have really helped yourself through having yourself or letting yourself learn from your own experiences and also from other people's experiences, listening to other people. I think that you are very interested in listening to other people's stories. But it may sometimes be a little bit exhausting, so that's why it's sometimes a little bit hard to really get back into that passion that you have, that you really want to help people and through what you know, but you can't help people if your cup is empty, and you may feel exhausted many times because you don't really know how to energize yourself with the things that you have experienced, and sometimes it feels like it was almost a little bit too much to kind of keep going for. Sometimes I'm silent because I don't want to repeat myself. I just want to let the answer sink in first, and then I can tell you what I know. So, how has group 3 helped save themselves? Now I'm hearing the song in my head, Speechless. But the thing is, my headphone is somewhat... Oh, okay. Yeah, and now I literally have the song in front of me, Speechless. From Naomi Scott. It's for the movie, from the movie Aladdin, like the real human. I don't know how to say it. The ones with actual people in it and not cartoon me version. I'm bad with explaining things, but I'll just continue. I feel like you still have this persona, you still have this vibe around you that you're still able to be the version who you are, and let yourself also enjoy the things next to that. There's like this feeling as if you sometimes don't really know what you want yeah, and that is maybe a little bit hard to express yourself. Maybe you want to do more than what you think you can do. You have really helped yourself overcome some things that you felt that were maybe not, that you were maybe not good enough, or maybe that you were not able to be the person that you wanted to be. It's almost as if you had trouble with recognizing that even though you may be different from other people, there is still a message that you're able to deliver to others, that you're able to send off and not have to worry about. Because what people perceive of you is one thing, but I feel like over the years you may have been a little bit afraid of the consequences of your, not outbursts, well, it could be outbursts, but also your passions. It's almost as if it will kind of interfere with the thing that you will do for others, like either whether it's like a job or the things you could do for other friends. I feel like a message to also help yourself even more is to really let yourself be more than what you show other people. For some of you, you may still be in kind of like in the middle of it, like you're kind of like, yeah, like you already learned some these things, but you're not really confident in showing every single part of yourself or every single part of that you learned yet. So that's some advice. And if you already vibe with what I just said, like you already are being every piece of yourself that you can be, then I feel like this is saying that the way that you have helped yourself, like helped save yourself, is through knowing that not everything is your fault, not knowing that like I'm really getting like insecure when it comes to how like I'm kind of like feeling right now like really insecure, as if I may have said or done the wrong thing, but there's also like this confidence that what you did and said was actually right. I feel like you have really helped yourself and helped save yourself by letting yourself kind of understand what you need to understand, even if the things that you are learning are not something that you thought that you needed to learn. I feel like you are able to really give yourself the guidance that you need by just letting yourself be guided in the first place, by knowing that even if you know a lot, we all have so much to learn, even if we are already very wise. There may always be something that we will be seeking. I feel like it has to do though with feeling that you kept hidden, although you looked happy. And I don't think it has a lot to do with you really standing up for other people or something like that. Because I feel that that is something that you and anyone else is just, you know, kind of okay with. Like, everyone has just accepted that you know the answer, and that it's not necessarily just you as a person, but even your soul. I feel that instead of like really letting yourself be put back into times where you feel ashamed of what you have or had, or that you liked or loved, that I feel like you will be reminded of something far bigger than, like, you will see, it's almost like you're getting, like, you feel like you're starting to get into like this path of shame almost, and then you're kind of being guided back into understanding who you are as a soul, and knowing that it is your purpose, it is your passion, your love to really have some kind of balance, or kind of achieve understanding, or to let other people, just as you reach the goal of understanding, but not judging, but just being, and not necessarily giving into bad, good, right, left, into choosing a certain way of being, or living, or leading your life, or leading other people. Okay, how else has group 3 helped save themselves? The sun, nourishment, optimism, leadership. How has group 3 helped save themselves? I am blessed, number 18. Even I need to think sometimes. Give me a moment. Not just by looking at the positive things in your life, but to feel real appreciation of the things that you have and the things that you are. I feel like you help save yourself, and have saved yourself, by I am determined. I feel like a lot of how you have really been able to manage yourself, and the things that you were feeling, thinking, things that were going on, is by really looking back at how much you love to do what you do, how much you love to really be in this kind of, be on the path of healing, and also being able to be a truth teller without hesitation, without being, by being yourself, and by letting other people also be themselves, and know where the boundaries are, know where is enough, and how to understand where you're going is not a place that you want to be. And what I mean with that is like where someone is going when it comes to like conversations. So let's just say you just want to tell yourself how, or you just want to say to other people how proud you are of yourself, that you have done this and this and this, but or something like that, or you say something nice about someone else, but then somehow it turns into something different than you were actually wanting to go. So it turns into it almost turns into a battle or a situation you actually did not want to get into. Like, you know, when you start to have like a little funny conversation and you kind of not really make fun of others, but, you know, kind of joke around, and then somehow it gets serious, and that's not really what was what you were intending to go for, or what someone else will intend to go for. You know how to where to draw the line and how to stop yourself from going in that direction, and also knowing to, I feel like you're very honest also with other people. Like, I also am not perfect, you know. You're also able to tell them, like, I have my little things as well, but I'm able to distance myself. I feel like you're someone who trains and helps other people, and the way that you have saved yourself or helped yourself get out of unlucky situations is by remembering that you are not alone, and that you can feel as if you are helping yourself when it comes to certain things that you will think will not really go well for you. Is there anything else that's coming through? Oh. If there's anything else, then I will just say it. But let's now get to the last messages of what you need to know, what you need to hear about either something that you're already, how you have already helped yourself, or maybe some advice, what you can do from now on for yourself that can also help you save yourself. So either a confirmation, no, too many. Okay. What are some last messages three needs to hear? I feel like you may have had like difficulty with really being able to sometimes focus on yourself, because you're always focused on other people. I don't know if this is relevant or something like that, why I need to mention that again, if I ever mentioned that before, but anyway. The universe wove you from a constellation just so every atom, every fiber in you comes from a different star. Nikita Gill. Reconnect with the creative influences you have been drawn to throughout your life, and how they have affected the person you have become. So I feel like this really wants to say, like, the way how you have helped yourself, how you have saved yourself, is by really asking yourself what you love the most and what you love doing for yourself and for others. And that has a lot to do with healing. It has a lot to do with facing your own shadow, and with understanding that even if there's a reason behind it, it doesn't necessarily need to be this way. That there's a different way of communicating, there's a different way of understanding one another. Anything else? Some last messages for group 3. I feel that's also how you kind of feel like you're able to forgive more easily, because you know that there are different parts in everyone. I mean, of course there are boundaries, but there's just knowing, and it makes it for you easier, because if you are If you have done a lot of amazing work with yourself, then there would not be a lot of triggers or a lot of intense reactions left for you to experience, because you already have achieved acceptance. Divine will. Your life is unfolding in harmony with the divine will of your soul. Let go of fear and apprehension, for you are eternally blessed. Have patience as your vision manifests with perfect timing. So as I said before, like there could always be like parts of you that have not fully integrated that acceptance of what we have been talking about, or what I've been talking about and you've been listening to. Hopefully. Anyway. There was something I wanted to say. That you are maybe not at that point yet where you desire to be, but things will still go that way. And just because you have a setback doesn't mean that you are completely at the beginning. Remove the limiting labels you're wearing. I feel like I don't need to say anything else with that. Like, that's everything I have. So, group 3, that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonated or was helpful in some way. I wish you an amazing day or night. Please consider watching Lexi's reading, and I hope you'll be back in the future. Hi group 4, welcome to your reading. So we will be looking into how have you helped save yourself. So let's get started with some tarot cards and also some oracle cards. But first I'll start with the tarot cards. How has group 4 saved themselves? The Magician, group 1 also has the first card being the Magician, so I don't know if there's anything about group 1, but just if you felt called to group 1 as well. How is group 2 of Pentacles? The images are so cute. I just want to mention that there's like this energy of refraining, like trying to hold yourself together, hold yourself back, mostly together, like holding yourself together. I see like a scenery of someone sitting on their bed, or someone's sitting next to your window or something, just kind of, you know, kind of thinking about some things, but not really showing like deep expressions. More like it kind of feels like someone is like contemplating something, but kind of being very doubtful, and as if they are very like not insecure, but it kind of feels like something is happening within them and they don't really know what to do with it. How have you helped save yourself? The Sun together with the Queen of Cups. Now I would remember what it was making me think about. It was making me think of the song that I was hearing before, and it was about it's not an English song, it's a German song that's called "Who Always Smiles" or "Who Always Laughs" in front of their friends or in front of other people. Like this person or she would like laugh at the person in a music video. She would like, anyway, and behind closed doors, like she will cry and she will not like share that part with herself with anyone else. I kind of feel like there has been a lot going on within yourself, and we are going to figure out how you have helped yourself to save yourself or something. How has group 4 helped save themselves? Ace of Wands. Okay, so I kind of get like a story, and I always ask Spirit to do stories to send me stories so I can kind of figure out what your role is and where it's leading, blah blah blah. And I kind of feel a story where someone is suppressing their own feelings, and it's not like they're not aware of them, but they kind of feel like they can't share them for some kind of reason. But I do feel like you are the kind of person who would still really give a lot of love and happiness to the ones around you. How has group 4 helped save themselves? Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so how have you helped save yourself? I feel first off through really, I feel like there was a necessity for not really sharing something with specific people. And I'm not saying that that is necessary to not share yourself with other people or something like that, but I feel like there was something that was happening behind the scenes, and I feel like I don't know enough, but I feel like okay, let me kind of analyze it. How have you helped save yourself? I feel like I need to say like the whole thing that brought up the issue of where you could have gone to, the issue, like the things that you were struggling with was expressing yourself. And I feel like that this is kind of showing a way of like a story itself. So what I'm trying to say with that is that you have felt like you couldn't express and share who you were, and you felt like you were kind of trapped within your own prison or someone else's prison. And I feel like you took steps for yourself to actually do something about it, because I feel like you've been contemplating a lot about how to solve this problem and how you can maybe literally save yourself from a situation that really felt extremely uncomfortable and not aligning with how you felt. Like, almost felt like you had to fake something. You had to fake being happy. And that is not really, that's not really good. But I feel like you suddenly like got an idea of how to assure yourself, or how to bring yourself in a more comfortable space, in a more comfortable place for yourself. Seven of Pentacles to me talks about like having done the steps and waiting for the results, and kind of, you know, giving it water every now and then, but letting you know, the universe, the sun, let the world do the rest, let time do its work, and let your manifestations, let your wishes grow. I feel like you always wanted to really go for what you were dreaming for, but I guess that because of pressures, I just immediately wanted to say family pressure or something like that. Not for everyone, but pressure from the outside world made you kind of stay silent about something. It could be something that you have witnessed, it could be something that you have experienced. So let's just say a very, very traumatic experience when it comes to, you know what I mean? You know, very, very traumatic experience when it comes to your family. Stuff like that. That made you possibly feel like you were hopeless. So I think that you got yourself out of that, and that's literally how you saved yourself, how you helped yourself overcome the fear of pressure and threats, possibly. Unity. How has group 4 helped save themselves? For the most of you, I feel like it could have been something that had to do with family or a dear friend or something like that. Timeless Earth. And for some of you, it could be that you had, or you got to meet like a person who was very important to you, or not just meet, but you really had a relationship with someone. And I feel like maybe you giving signs, or you giving subtle hints to someone could have changed the situation in some way, either entirely or in small steps. Because I don't think that it literally changed like right away, but I feel like the way you were going forward with what you had in your mind, and I have no idea what it is that you did for yourself, but you have come up with an idea that could actually help you in that situation. And it may be something that takes a little while to get there, but it was still something that you actually were that you actually have achieved. How has group 4 helped save themselves? We have Sky Daddy, which is to me also a very very uncomfortable confirmation that it may have something to do with family. And we have Infinity Mirror. I need to look the 2 cards up though, because I don't know. Can I put them? No, I can't. Okay. For others of you, could also have been other issues that is not as, you know, invasive as what I originally had in mind, and I don't actually want to say it, but for the ones who have gone through some sort of abuse, I think you get the point, but not for everyone. How has group 4 helped save themselves? I actually need to look in the booklet first. 1 second. The sun in the supreme archetypal patriarch. Fearsome in its power, but gentle enough to nurture life. A source of consistency, dependability, and routine. Mighty in all it does. Its jubilation and exuberance. Its sorrow and its rage. Shining, energizing, and scorching indiscriminately. To worship Sky Daddy is to let the sunshine cup your face. To work in the garden. That's interesting because it's 7 pinnacles. And that is originally with a garden. Anyway, to find shapes in the clouds, to feel peace in the sunset. Those who have endured a dark night of the soul know this to be sacred. And we also have another one, which is I don't know where it is. The Infinity Mirror. A glimpse of the multiverse through a serendipitous alignment of quotidian, yeah, I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, objects. I'm not gonna say it again. How has group work helped save themselves? I see someone like literally like really focusing on something very intensely, as if they're like trying to make like a 3D plan almost when it comes to like drawing like a vision or like what you want to achieve or something, as if you really have like a vision board about how to go about some things. Scarcity. Where is the word? There. Scarcity is looking up, thinking I am due something that I forgot to claim. It's ignoring how rich I really am. It is the wealth within my bones, the warmth in my heart, the beauty in my soul that I cannot see. It's the bare soil under my feet, my empty hands. It's choosing to be unhappy because changing scares me. Okay. The way you have helped save yourself is through actually contemplating what is happening around you. I feel like that was the first step for you to realize that something was not going the way you wanted. What I was seeing right at the beginning was you, well, not necessarily you, but like someone sitting at their window, as I said, and really thinking about something. And I feel like something really got in. Like he finally started to understand what something was actually meaning to you, and how you have been treated and how you have been feeling with all of this. I feel like that the way that you have saved yourself, that the way that you have helped save yourself was through, first of realizing that something was off, and second of knowing that you still have the power to change things for yourself. And I'm not saying that you can change the people, right? Again, like not for other people, but for yourself. And I feel like you have gotten to the point where you got a mindset where things may not be able to get better. But I feel like there was and there is a way to get better. And I'm not saying that you did not go for it, because anyway, I feel like this is talking about you realizing that you feel awful and you feel different with certain kind of people. And I'm being reminded of like something that I also resonate with. Like sometimes you're just happier without someone or some people or something. Sometimes that's just not yours. That's just not your thing. I feel like you saved yourself from things getting out of hand when it comes to your self-esteem. I mean, you may still have you may still have the some tics and things from the past, like some triggers that brings you back to how it used to be. But I feel like how you actually changed things for yourself and how you made things better for yourself was by stepping away from focusing on what you were at that moment going through, but actually realizing that you have a chance and the ability to change your own life and the way that you are living for yourself, even if that takes a little bit of effort. And I feel like you have not just been manifesting only, but you have been asking for help. You've been showing more of who you were. Maybe you've been coming back to one specific friend or person that you've really trusted, and you really poured out what was bothering you and what was maybe happening around you. You have helped yourself out of a situation, out of a toxic situation with other people, with yourself, and it could have gone a really bad way where you could have, like, for example, I'm not saying that it never really got to that, but that you may have been very, that you may have felt very aggressive and maybe hurt yourself or someone else because it just got that far. I feel like whether things have already happened, you realize that it cannot go on like that forever, and that you did not want what you had, and that you can do so much better. So you start focusing on something that actually, or you actually, because you were kind of ready to go on to the next step, so to speak. I feel it could also be that you were brought an opportunity to look up something that actually inspired and supported you in every single way, like looking for a new friend group, looking for a new idea or passion, looking for to distance yourself from people in that you are having around you, like either family, friends. It can be anything as long as it resonates with your situation. So how has group 4 helped save themselves? And I feel like time has actually flown by, I don't remember, really gone by really progressively. Like, I feel like if you would look back to how you used to be like 3 years back, then you will really see that you've made some real progress with what you really wanted to become. How has group 4 helped save themselves? How has group 4 helped save themselves? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. There we go. We have to a thread, twine, agreements, biases, and compromise. And I feel like this one also wants to get out, which is the water, it's relief, rejuvenation, rest. For some of you, it may even be the case that you have been saying or things that were not actually how you felt, and it may have hurt yourself or other people to say it, and you're like, that's actually not even how I feel, so why am I saying it? OCD. Anyway, what you've really learned and how you have really helped yourself with, what you have really helped yourself with was to make yourself, let yourself know that you are not a bad person. and let yourself know that you deserve just as much happiness. You don't need to fake being happy. You don't need to act as someone that you are not. And if you have to act like that, especially when you're younger, you know, that does something to you, you know, that can actually have a lot of, that can really do something with the rest of your future, you know, because that's kind of imprinted into your brain as if that is normal, which is not. Sorry for that pause. I feel like you really helped yourself by giving yourself a break, by really letting yourself be moved by things that were your kind of thing and not other people's kind of thing. If you even feel like people have like kind of forced you to go to certain places or to also agree to join certain activities or something like that, or do something that was not really right, or you just didn't feel as if that was something you wanted to involve yourself yet. So let's just say someone wanted to introduce you to a cute person or whatever, you know, someone, anyway, and you were like, I am too young to get involved in that, or I am not interested in that right now, or you were more busy with your studies and you were more interested in that, or vice versa, like you were forced to put so much focus on that that you did not really have a moment to focus on your social and romantic life, for example. Like, it doesn't matter whenever this timing was, but it did have an effect on you. You are a very amazing and kind and joyful person to be around, and you just don't deserve to give your best to people who do not even appreciate or notice that you are giving your best. I feel like it's very hard for you to really put in the effort for things that really are not how you, the way that you live, the way that you will express yourself. That's just not something you're interested in. It's not something like that. Anything else that I'm seeing? I want to read a card. I mean, I'm reading all the cards. What I'm trying to say, I want to... Okay. I feel like the way you have helped yourself is to remind yourself that even if things have been really tough, you can right now really trust the people around you. You have come to the realization that you don't need other people to help you, but you also need to be alone and do everything on your own. Like, you can ask for guidance, but you do not need to you don't need someone to do something for you. I feel like you have been really placed in a position where you were not really given the opportunity to try something out for yourself and let someone just give you some simple guidance or advice about what you should do or where it's leading to, and let you try it out for yourself. The biggest thing that I keep getting back into is that you have gotten yourself out of a situation that really felt like hell, that felt like horror, that felt like war. And I feel like it has been following you maybe for a little while, and maybe it still does, because as I said with some of the other groups, like, not every person needs to be fully established and have saved themselves completely. It's a process, healing and guiding ourselves and understanding more about ourselves. That's just not something that comes like in one night. I mean, if that would, wow, okay, that would be something, but I really, yeah, again, I feel like this is always like coming back to you being able to let yourself know that things are not war anymore. I feel like you're able to really soothe yourself right now and make yourself understand. Like, it's almost like you're being your own little guiding angel. It's like you're being your own parent. It's like you're actually taking care of yourself in a very warm and motherly kind of way, as if I don't know what this is about, but I feel like there are multiple energies here. That's why it's so hard to kind of pin it down to one thing. Not saying that something needs to be pinned down. I'm over explaining again. I need to stop. Knowing that you have the energy and that you have the motivation and inspiration and the talent to go for that exactly what you want, but not letting yourself get to not letting yourself drown in things that have happened before and things that people have said. I feel like you're able to really help yourself, even even currently you're still able to make yourself comfortable and calm with your own presence by letting yourself by grounding yourself to the present moment, and by letting yourself be aware that you are protected, whether you like it or not. I feel you've come to a point where you are able to understand that things have come really far, and I don't have the words, and that you don't really feel the need to really keep on hanging on to what has happened. I feel like you really have let yourself, guided yourself and understood yourself in a way that no one else was possibly be able to do for you, or in a way that no one was able to help. Sorry, sometimes I have problems with words. That sometimes people do not understand you, but at least you can understand yourself. And now be more able, feel more present with what is going on inside you, and to be able to tell how you are feeling, even if it's a little bit, even if it's your expression is a little blocked, even if you have a little bit difficulty with expressing yourself, you're able to do it more frequently than you used to do it in the past. You've really helped save yourself from living a nightmare. I actually feel like you're able to look at your past and see the beautiful things, the beautiful memories, and not hang on to the things that were bad. Maybe you are currently starting to realize that your memories were more happy memories are coming back, and you start to enjoy the past a lot more than you have done before that. So let's see if there's any if there are any last messages, anything, advice or something that you need to hear right now. So this can be about something that you have already achieved, something that you already feel that resonates completely, but it can also be that some messages may be about something that may be handy in the future, that something that may help you when it comes to saving yourself in the future. So, any last messages for we have an affirmation card. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is richness of self. May Sarton. I hurt myself. Ow. Today, be the friend to yourself that your heart most desires in another. I literally just said, like, you are being your own parent, your own friend. And letting yourself actually listen to your heart and be more open about what you are feeling inside. I also want to add, for you it was hard to be your own friend in the past, but now it feels like you are more able to feel like what you can, the beautiful things that you can say about yourself or have said about yourself. Like, for example, what if the whole reason why you became the way you are is because you started affirming certain things about yourself, like saying that you were beautiful, that you were kind and intelligent and stuff like that, and all whatever whatever affirmations you used for yourself. It may have really been one of the things that helped you really get to where you are right now and be able to trust and love your own voice, to listen to what you say or read what you are writing and believe what is being written down on a paper without looking at it and looking in a way like is this person like joking or something like that. You know, we all have those moments where we're like, I don't know if I can trust this compliment. I don't know if it's that sincere, you know, because you don't really believe it yourself. Oh gosh, okay. And we have inspiration. Your love, light, and wisdom touch the hearts and minds of many. You are instrumental in helping another change the course of their life. The result, healing, inspiration, and miracles. Not only have you done this for another, you have done this wholeheartedly for yourself. You have changed the course of your own life. And it wouldn't have happened if you didn't have the courage to really what's that word called? To really support yourself with what you were feeling. You are actually, what has really saved you is by you choosing to start loving yourself from that day on. Choosing that you have to put a lot more effort into how you are feeling and put a lot more, what's that called? Of your attention to that instead of looking at what other people are asking of you. Align your intentions with your actions. I feel like, again, this is something that you have been doing. So as I said before, this is something that I feel that has already been happening. And if not, like, I feel like you're getting closer and closer to really aligning with the things that you want to do, and not just, and you know, align your intentions with your actions by really actively pursuing an idea, to really put it out and not just say that you are going to do it, but really do it for yourself, to really support yourself in those times. There's something else I feel like I need to say, but I don't know what. You have really grown into a beautiful person inside and out that really has come to the realization that they are an amazing human being. You have turned the tables. You have helped save yourself by putting your focus on yourself and really listening to your own thinking, your own heart, instead of others all the time. I feel like you have been really following other people's orders, like subconsciously, like to be a good person. But in all honesty, you may have just felt really insecure and unsure about yourself. And now that you know, like, wait, there was nothing wrong with me in the first place, you can actually see it in a different light and and see that other people's opinions are always untrue, that they are always a reflection, perception from people, what they want, what they see, maybe in themselves. So group 4, that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonated or was helpful in some way. I wish you an amazing day or night. Please consider watching Lexi's reading, and I hope you'll be back in the future.